Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another PE discussion video that I have here for you guys. So today I wanted to talk about constructive criticism towards my favorite company, Nintendo. As everyone has seen lately, especially over the past year or so, Nintendo has been under intense scrutiny from pretty much all angles. Their handling of the Wii U, heck, even their handling of the Nintendo 3DS. Now, the thing about this is that there is a certain sector of Nintendo fans that are so upset or tired with the criticism whenever anybody says anything wrong because of all the criticism that's been levied on Nintendo since last year, and heck, pretty much this whole generation with the Wii U. There are a lot of people who do like the system, who feel that Nintendo pretty much did no wrong for the most part, or did very little wrong. And I can understand. When the Wii U first launched, I was pretty quick to defend it, just because I was waiting to see what Nintendo would do. I was waiting to see and give them time to fix some of the issues. It wasn't fully known the extent of how bad Nintendo messed up, for me, at least until E3 2015. That's when I realized that Nintendo made a grave mistake and that they had moved on from the Wii U. They have moved on and decided to shift resources already towards their next system, as there was really no new game announcements at E3 2015 to get excited about, and they spent really long amounts of time on games that were already revealed, and even spent upwards of 10 to 15 minutes maybe or so on a Yarn Yoshi amiibo. Especially after 2014's amazing E3, 2015 was just a letdown, and it showed. There was lots of criticism. And I can understand why some people are getting upset. But guys, let me just say something right now. The reason why Nintendo's in the situation that they are in with their consoles, as far as decreasing sales numbers across the board, from Nintendo portables, the 3DS, DS to 3DS, to Nintendo home consoles, Wii to Wii U, heck, even going back, skipping a generation, from GameCube to Wii U. Sales are so down, and that's because they're not listening to the criticism. That's because they're not listening to the fan feedback. A lot of this could have been avoided if Nintendo actually listened to fan feedback with their consoles, especially after the Wii. The Wii was a massive success, but it was so criticized. There were so many issues that people brought up, and Nintendo didn't listen to any of it. Barely any. They fixed the bare minimum and thought slapping the Wii name on the console would therefore sell it, so people who complained would be just like last generation with the Wii, and oh well, they'll buy it anyway. But that didn't happen this generation. Combine that with poor marketing and lack of games, and you've got the worst selling Nintendo home console of all time with the Wii U. Now, when it comes to my criticisms of Nintendo, and when it comes to criticisms of Nintendo, constructive criticism, not just ranting and raving and making unfair comparisons, but real constructive criticism of the Wii U. Like, for example, some people saying that the Wii U gamepad is too big, or the battery life is bad, or they're tired of being forced into different motion controls and not having the option to be able to play a game normally with a Pro Controller. Constructive criticism against Nintendo, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the type of criticism that can help Nintendo. That's the type of criticism that Nintendo needs to have a feedback page to where people can actually levy their complaints and Nintendo can actually take action against them, so we don't fall into the same situation that the Wii U is in, where it's lacking features that people wanted, where it's lacking normal controls where games should have them. Nintendo definitely needs to listen to our feedback if they want the sales. You can't sit here and tell me that Nintendo, in this day and age, shouldn't have a home console that sells at least minimum 30 to 35 million. Minimum, even just based on the strength of their first party IPs. They should have a console that sells well more than 13 million units. That's ridiculous for the history and legacy of Nintendo. They've pissed away all of their fans. Nintendo fans are there. They're out for the taking. There is no reason why Nintendo can't recoup, and Nintendo should be selling way more than what the Wii U sold. In my opinion, it comes down to not listening to the core fans from back in the day. In my opinion, it comes down not listening to the modern fans that want these things. And we need to speak up constructively. It's upsetting when I get people on my channel and they tell me, you should change your channel into a Sony channel because your videos are negative against Nintendo. That's really upsetting because throughout the history of me being on YouTube, me having my website, I've done nothing but cover Nintendo, promote their games, and do my best to say, hey, be objective and fair when it comes to critiquing them, when it comes to praising them. When a game is amazing, I'll say the game is amazing. You guys know how I feel about Smash Bros. And Bayonetta. When I say something isn't very good because of forced motion controls or because they don't have the options for people who don't want them, I mean that. I say that out of constructiveness just to help Nintendo get better. Has nothing to do with just trying to be mean, has nothing to do with just trying to be negative on Nintendo because I hate what they're doing. Has nothing to do with that. I'll give them praise when they deserve praise. I'll give them criticism when they deserve criticism. And criticism can only lead to them getting better. Because if you look at the sales of the Wii U, they have to look at why people didn't buy the system. And it wasn't just because of marketing. The content wasn't there. The system wasn't there. Even to the point to where Shigeru Miyamoto says, well, I'm being pulled off of hardware. He's not going to be involved in actually developing the hardware because of the mistakes that they've made. Guys, you need to be able to take the good with the bad. Constructive criticism on Nintendo is going to help them. They need to listen to the fans. They need to have that fan feedback page open. They need to implement things people want if they want their system to sell. There's nothing wrong with doing that if it's constructive. Heck, even if it's ranting and raving a little bit, you're the consumer. You have the right to have your voice being heard. As long as you put up a fair argument, in my opinion, as long as you put up stuff that you feel is essential to the company to get better, then there's nothing wrong with saying that. If things keep going the way that they are, there will be no more Nintendo home console community. And portable sales are dipping as well from the previous generation. So guys, it's okay to be constructive. Let Nintendo know what they need to do as far as feedback goes. Don't just sit there and let them police themselves. Because if you don't lend your voice to their cause, whether it's praise for a good game or criticism for a bad game, they feel that they can do whatever they want. And whenever they do whatever they want, we get a situation like the Wii U. The Wii U, in my opinion, should have been Nintendo's greatest system of all time. But that's a video for another day. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And also subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and everything on Nintendo. Thanks again. We'll see you for the next video. Peace.